Hi, I'm Luke Zamolik,
And I'm Aaron Clogston.
and we are going to teach you about the history of our sport, baseball. The origins of baseball were uncertain. Traces of a game played with a bat and a ball dates back all the way to ancient Egypt. There's little evidence, though, that baseball derives from town folk, and this game was played in the 19th century, and the game was called town ball. There's clear evidence, though, that in the 18th century, a game called baseball was played in England. Johann Gutsmuth wrote in 1796 a book on popular pastimes in which he mentions an English version of baseball.
The inventor of the rules of baseball, his name was Alexander Cartwright, and he founded a team called the Knickerbockers and the Knickerbocker Rules in 1839. He organized the first game in the United States on the 19th of June, 1846 in Hoboken, New Jersey. Many people believe that the first game of baseball was played in the United States, but it actually wasn't. The first game of baseball was played June 1838 in Ontario, Canada.
So what was going on during America at this time? Urbanization played a huge part in the game being able to rise. With cities growing, more people were looking for recreation, and thus the sport of baseball coming into play. Many schools would partake in this at recess or during some family get-togethers. So now let's go look at some old rules and how they changed from the 19th century.
Okay, so the first rule was 9 call balls for a walk. Pitchers recognized that they could continue to deliver pitches well outside the plate and wait for a batter to get impatient and swing. This created drastic pace issues for the game of baseball, and batters were free to wait for their perfect pitch to hit. They'd see up to 40 to 50 pitches per at bat. And so over 1800s and throughout the 1900s, the standard became 4 balls and 3 strikes to prevent this.
Demonstration time!
Could you imagine seeing 40 of those each at bat?
Alright, so now we're going to go on to the next rule. So on to our next rule. Pitchers were required to throw underhanded up until 1883. Pitchers weren't originally intended to be in opposition towards his batter. Their purpose was simple: underhand the ball in a hittable position and get out of the way. Pitchers created greater speed and movement with essentially sidearm deliveries because in 1872 the perpendicular rule was relaxed to allow the greater range of motion. So now we're going to show you what this looked like.
Before 1872, pitchers were required to throw underhand like this. Once the perpendicular rule was relaxed in 1872, pitchers began to throw like this. And now, during our modern game, pitchers throw like this.
Alright, so now we're going to hop into rule number 3.
Okay. Until 1864, fly balls could be caught off a bounce for an out like this. After 1864, gloves became more prominent in the game and the one bounce rule was removed.
Alright, let's go look at some more information. So some key moments in baseball are some of these. While the men were at war during World War II, the All-American Girls Baseball League was created in 1943 to keep the sport alive. On April 15, 1947, Jackie Robinson played his first Major League game, breaking the color barrier and thus providing dreams of playing professional sports to many African Americans. So with America spreading the game of baseball to places like the Dominican Republic and Japan, it became widely popular. People can find enjoyment in baseball in seeing players hit home runs and striking people out, but real fans really like the strategic part of the game, as in how one pitch could change the entire game.
Okay, so some of the problems with the game are the game is super long and has an extremely slow pace. So the younger generation has a hard time concentrating because they're used to constant action in the things they watch. Another problem with baseball is there's so many unwritten rules in baseball, such as no celebrating home runs like this.
Uh-huh.